Hello guys, welcome back. In this video tutorial we will learn how to create a sample e-commerce website in which we will be adding a top header that contains a menu which contains different categories, and on selection of those categories we will be fetching the items based on that, and in each product card we will be showing the product name, how much is the discount on that, what was the actual price, what is the discounted price, and the product image where we can zoom in and rotate the image to see the details in preview. And also we will showing some details of the product, the rating, and add to cart button, and once it's added we show a success message. And also we can sort the items based on different options like alphabetically or based on the price, and then ultimately view the cart, and we show whatever the items user has added and their quantity, and user can change their quantity on the go, and we will present the total here and then the grand total at the bottom, and then the option to check out the cart, and then user can add their details like full name, email, address. So once all of these details has been added, then user can confirm the order and we show that your order has been placed successfully, right? So let's get started. I have an empty reactjs project that is using latest version of InDesign 5.0 at the time of creating this video, and right now it's showing nothing. So let's go ahead and start adding different components to create the website. So let's start from the top header, and for that we can create some custom components, like we can create a app header, and here we can return let's start from returning a div, and we can say it's a header. And similarly we can create the component called the footer, and inside that we can call it footer. And also between the header and the footer we can create a component that we can call page content. So we can paste it and we can say page content, and here we can say page content, right? And inside the div let's add a app header, then we can create the page content, and then after the page content we can add a app footer. Let's call this the app footer. Okay, here you go, the header, page content, and the footer. Let's add the styling. So we can add a class name here, and we can say this is an app, and here we can also add a class name and we can call it a header, and here we can add a class name and call it a footer, and here we can add a class name we can call page content. Let's call them the same, app header, because the component name is app header, and we can call this app footer. Save it, and let's go to the app.css and add here the css, and first one is the app one, and inside that we can say its display is flex, and we can say the flex direction is column, and its width is the 100 VW, the whole width, and its height is 100 VH, right? And for the app header we can say its height is maybe 60 pixels, and if I save it and also import that the app.css here you go, it has added a height of 60 pixels. And let's add the other ones as well, the app footer, and same we can say the height is again 60 pixels, and let's give it a background color of maybe black. Save it, here you go, and inside that there will be the page content, and here we can say its displays again flex, and its flex is 1, so it will be covering all of the available space between these. And we can say its overflow y is auto. So we will be adding content here, and when it is overflowing it will be scrolling, right? And inside the app header we can start adding our menu. So instead of writing them in the same app.js class, let's create a component folder under the source and start moving these components inside that. So we can create a components folder, and inside that we can say a header, and again under the components we can call footer, and then again under the components we can call page content. Okay, so again in each of these we can create index files, and same goes for the header, and same goes for the page content, right? And let's move all of these one by one. So this is the app header, got it from here and put it inside the header, and we can export default app header from here, save it, and also cut it the footer as well, and put that inside the footer folder. And again we can say export default app footer, save it, and then the last one page content, cut it from here and paste it here, and we can again export default page content, save it, and then go to the app.js and import all of these here, or we can just give it like this way, import it and import it. Okay, it's again the same, right? So let's go to the app header, and here inside the header we can add a menu. That's again from the end design, and we can add items. That will be an array of objects where we will be providing the label and the key. And here we can say maybe the home, and a unique key is home. If I save it, here you go, it has added the home. Let's copy this one and add few more. We can say the men and woman, right? And we can add another one, maybe we can call it accessories, and same goes here, right? Save it. Let's change its mode from vertical to horizontal. Here you go, it has added our menu, right? So maybe instead of this home we can render an icon. We can call home field. That is again from the end design icons, right? Save it. Here you go, looks nice. Okay, so let's add some children under each of these. So for the men we will be creating the children of this menu, and it will be an array of objects, and each object we will be creating the label as well as the key, right? So let me create the children under the men and women. So I have added the children under the men. Those are men's shirts, men's shoes, and men's watches. And again for the women dresses, women shoes, women watches and bags, and women jewelries. And also have updated the label from the accessories to the fragrances. So this is how it look like: men's shirts, women, and fragrances, right? So let's add routes based on these menus. So for routes we can use the React DOM. So that will be npm install React DOM. So let's install that, and meanwhile it's installing, we can create some components. Again inside the components we can call routes, and inside that we can add an index.js file, and here we can create a function. We can say routes, and here we will be returning routes. Maybe we can call it app routes, because routes also a component from the React Router DOM. So we can import that from React Router DOM. We can import the routes and also a single route as well, and here we can return the routes, and inside that we can say our route, and we can give it a path. We can say if it is only the slash, so what element to render. So maybe here we can render the home, we can say, and when the path is something else, we can render the other components. Maybe we can say when we have selected some of these categories, we can render a category page. Maybe we can say category page, right? And here we can get the category ID, right? And let's create both of these, home and the category pages. So we can, under the source, we can create a folder called pages, and we can under that we can create a home, and also under the pages we can create a category folder and add the index.js file in both of these. Okay, and let's create a function inside that, and we can call it a home, and we can export default home, and here we can return a div. You can say home, and inside the category, let's copy this one and paste it in the category. We can say category, and here we can say category, right? And again here we can say category, right? And in the page content, where we are saying the page content, here we'll be returning the routes, the app routes, right? And those are, let's import those first. We can say import app routes from the under the routes. Okay, so if I save this one and save the app routes as well, so we can export default app routes, and also we can save this category file and this home file, right? And if we go to the routes again and import these home and the category, so that will be import, or maybe we can just give it like this way, home and also the category under the pages category, right? It is auto imported. Save it. So there should be an error. Let's go to the console and see what it is. So to use the routes, we need to encapsulate all of our components under the browser route. So here the app, we can say browser router, and here you go. The browser router is again from the React Router DOM. So we have to encapsulate all of these, the components where we have using the routes under the browser router, right? So here you go. So the home, and then in other cases it should go to the category. So for that we can again go to the header, and here we can implement the onClick function. On the menu we can say onClick is, we can say on menu click, copy this one, and we can create this function on menu click, and we can give it an item, and here we can say it will be pushing to that route. So here we can import the use navigate from react DOM. So we can say use navigate hook, and let's create that hook here. We can say const navigate is equal to use navigate, and here we can say navigate, and we will be providing to where we want to navigate. And here we can get the key from each of these. So maybe for the home we can just keep it empty, and here we can say navigate to this one, the slash, and then what is the atom dot key. So in case of home, the atom key will be empty, so it will be navigating to the just the slash, and in case of others it will be navigating to men's shirt, men's shoes, and so on and so forth, right? So it will be in the dollar. Okay, save it, and now if I go to the men's shirt, it's going men's shirt, and category is shown. And if we go to the shoes, women's shoes and fragrances, right, and go to the home, it is rendering the home, right? So for showing the different products on different pages, we will be using the data provided by the dummy JSON, and we will be calling their different APIs to get different products, a single product, and then we will be calling their APIs to add the products into the cart and fetching the cart, etc. So let's go ahead and add a component that will be showing our list of products. So we can go to the components and create a folder. We can call products and add index.js file inside that, and create a function, and we can call it products, and export it. So products, right? And also for making these API calls, we can create a folder we can call API, and inside that we can call an index.js file, and here we will be adding all of our APIs. Like for fetching different products, we can say export const get all products, and inside that we will be adding this API call. Copy this one and paste it here, and instead of just consoling, we will be returning whatever is returned from here. And if I can show you the output, it will give us a list of products that will contain different type of data. So that will contain the title, description, the price of that product, and what is the percentage discount, and the rating, and then the thumbnail and some images, right? So this is the API call that we will be making, and under the products where we can use a use effect. So we will be making an API call at the very start, and here we can say get all products again from the API, and once those are received, we will be receiving in the res. And here we can update our state. We can create a state. We can say use state snippet, and we can say items, and by default it will be an empty, and use state. Okay, and here we can say set items is equal to res dot, it will be under the products. So we can copy this one, and here you go. And here we can return we can say items for the time being, and we can render these products under our components of home and the category. And if we go to the category page, and here instead of this category, we can render the products and save it. And if I go to the men's shirt, it's showing items, right? Let's go to the products, and instead of this only the items, we can give it a list, and again from the end design, and inside that we can provide the data source. We can say that this is the products, sorry, the items, and we can add a render item, and it will be given a single, we can say, product, and also the index, and we can return here, maybe we can return a card again from the end design, and here we can give it a title, and it will be equal to the product dot title that is available in each product, right? And also we can give it key is equal to index. Save it. Here you go, it has rendered different products, right? Okay, so let's make this a little bit good. So we have added the title, we can add a cover as well. So here we can render the image again from the end design, and here we can give it a source, so that will be under the item dot thumbnail. If I save it, under the product. Okay, here you go, it has added the images as well, right? So let's make this full screen. So maybe we can show 3 cards in a row, so we can give a grid prop, and we can say the columns is 3. Save it. Here you go, it is added the 3 columns. So here you see the images are a little bit of different sizes, so we can add a style on these images and make them consistent. So we can give it a class name, and we can say item card image. Copy this one and go to the app.css, and we can add some styling here. We can give a height, maybe we can say 150 pixels, and also we can give a object fit of, maybe we can say scale down. Okay, and make sure it is saved. Okay, if I refresh, okay, so maybe let's go again to the CSS file and see. Okay, maybe make it important. Okay, here you go, so it has added the images in all of these, and we can preview them as well, and we can zoom in and we can rotate them, right? Zoom out. Okay, looks good. So let's add different other items inside the cart. So we can go to the product, and inside the card we can say card.meta, and here we can add a title, and inside title maybe we can show the price. So here we can give it a, let's say, typography dot paragraph, and here we can say the product dot price. If I save it, here you go, it has shown the price, and here we can show the $sign as well. Okay, maybe we can say the price as well. Okay, and also we can show the full price, and for that maybe we can add another, we can say typography dot text, and inside that we can say the product dot that is the say discounted percentage. Okay, and so let's give it a little spacing, and we can say okay, so this is the, actually the discount percentage. So to create what was the actual price, we can do a little math. We can say product dot price plus what was the product dot price multiplied by discount and divided by 100. And if I save it, there you go. So originally it was 1442 and now it's this way. So we can round this one as well. You can say parse float and go to the very end, and then we can say 2 fixed and maybe 2, right? So originally it was of this price and now it's this, right? So also we can give a style of delete, so strike through, and maybe we can give it a type of danger, so it's in red, right? Here you go. So it has added the price. Previously it was of this price, but now it's on this price. We can add a $sign as well. So here we can add a dollar. Here you go, right? And also we can add a little description underneath that. So here we can say description, and it will be again for the product dot description. Save it. Here you go. It has added the description as well. Okay, so here you see some of the cards are smaller in size and some of them are in larger, so it's due to this description. So we can add maybe ellipses at the end of the second line, we can say. And for that we can, instead of this one, we can say it's again a typography dot paragraph, dot paragraph, and cut it from here. Okay, and this one. Okay, and here we can say it's an ellipsis, and here we can say the number of rows is 2, and it's expandable is also 2, and the symbol we will be using for the expandable is, we can say, the more, maybe just small more. Okay, here you go. So it's no ellipsis, and if we click on the more, it will then show the content, right? So if I refresh, here you go. So all of these cards are of equal size now, right? Also we can add a little padding between these as well. So for that we can add a class name to the card, and here we can say the class name item card. Let's copy this one and save it and go to the app.css, and here we can say the item card, and we can give it a margin maybe of 8 pixels. Save it. Here you go. It has added the margin, right? Looks good. And also we can add the percentage badge over here, how much the sale or the discount is going on that product. So for that we can again go to the products, and we can wrap this card under a badge. We can say badge dot ribbon, cut it from here and encapsulate the card under that. And for this one the text will be, we can say the product dot the discounted percentage. Save it. Here you go. It has added. We can change the color of this one as well. Maybe we can say the color is pink. Okay, looks good. And we can add a little padding for this one as well. So maybe we can add the the class, and we can say item card badge, and copy this one and go to the CSS, and we will be doing the same for this one as well. Here you go. So looks good. The items are looking good. We can add a rating of this item, and also we can add a button for add to cart. So again, go to the products list, and inside the card we can say the actions. It's again an array, and we can give the first element, we can give a rate, and here we can the value we can give it we can say the product dot rating. If I save it, here you go, it is added the rating. And because this rating can go in points as well, so we can allow the half. And now if I go to there, so it is again 4.5 and 4. So you see, I can even, it looks like that I can change that as well. So we can make it disabled so that it's on the read only. Okay, so now if I go, it's not changeable, right? 4.5, 4, 4, and again 4.5, right? And we can add a button of add to cart as well. So here we can say the button, we can say add to cart, and here we can say its type is maybe link. Save it. Here you go, add to cart, right? And we can add a on click function on that, and we can add this item into the cart. So let's go ahead, and maybe we can create a simple component based on this add to cart button. So maybe at the bottom we can say a little function, we can say add to cart button, and here we can return the same button we have added here. Okay, cut it from here, and we can say add to cart button here, and we can return the same. So this comma is extra. Okay, it's again the same, right? And we can add a on click function here. We can say it's an add product to cart, and copy this one, and we can create this function add to cart, and here we will be calling our API function. So we can go to the API and create a function. We can say export const add to cart, and here we will be giving the ID of the item or the product we want to add it to the cart. So let's go to the APIs and for adding a cart. So let's see the API, add a new cart. So copy this one, and we can paste it here, and here for this ID we can add. So it's a post call, and in the body we need to provide the number of items we are on the products we are going to add into the cart. So at a time we will be adding only one item, so we will be providing its ID, and let's keep this one and remove consoling this one as well, and just return it. Save it and add to cart. Let's copy this one, and here we will be calling add to cart, and we will be providing the product ID here, right? And then after it is done, we can just say we can just post a message. We can say message dot success, and here we can maybe say the item name as well. Maybe we can pass the item name as well as the ID here, and maybe we can just pass the item here, and here we can say item dot ID, and here we can say the item dot title has been added to cart, right? And we can call this one, and here we need to pass this item here as well. So we can say the item is equal to the product, right? So let's save it and go to the UI, and if we click on add to cart, it says that this has been added. And if I go to some other, this entry oil has been added to the cart, right? So while it's making the API call, we can show some loading here as well. So let's go ahead and add a state. You can say loading. By default it's false, and when we're making the API call, we can say set loading as true, and once we are done, we can say set loading is false, right? And for this button, we can say loading is equal to the loading variable from the state, right? So save it, and good, here you go. It has shown a simple loading, right? And once it's done, it shows that it has been added to the cart, right? So right now you see that we are showing all of the items in all of these categories, even though I'm on different categories or different pages. So let's fetch all of these products based on the category user has selected. So let's go to the API, and instead of this get all products, we can write a function. We can say export const get products by category, and we can pass the category here, and go to the APIs, and we can say get product of a category. Here you go. So product category, and if it is under the smartphone, it will give all the products based on that. So let's copy this one and go to the APIs and return this way and remove this console, and we can pass this category here. Instead of this smartphone, we will be providing whatever the category user has provided. And if I save it and go to the products, so instead of fetching all of, we can fetch the category based on the path. So here we can say get category, and we can fetch the category from the path. So for that, we can use the use param hook from the reactor DOM. So we can say import use param from reactor DOM. So use params, and here we can say const param is equal to use param, and copy this one, and we can say here param dot category ID. So this will be the one that we have provided inside the routes. So here one category ID, copy this one, and we can paste it here, right? So if I save it, and this will be the men's shirt, and if I go to the men's shoes, so it's not updating, so because we have only fetching only once, so we can say as soon as the param changes, so this param here changes, we need to fetch it again. So save it, and now if I change to watches, so it's shown the watches, right? I can preview them, and if I go to the women dresses, here you go, and if I go to the watches, here you go, the jewelry, and if I go to the fragrances, here you go. And if you want to show us a spinner while it's fetching different categories, we can do that as well. So for that we can say use state, and we can say loading, and by default it's false, and here we can say set loading is true, and once we are done we can say set loading as false, and here we can say if we are loading, then return the spin, and its spinning is true, otherwise return the list. If I save it, okay, so if I change this one, here you go, it has shown a spinner and then show what has been changed, right? And if I go to the home, so home is not showing anything. We can show the same categories in case of home as well. So in case of home, we do not have any category, and instead we need to call the other function. So here we can say if the param dot category id exists, then you can do this one, otherwise just call the all products, copy this one and do this, and then we can do the then save. So what we are doing here is, so either we will be calling the get product by category, or we will be calling all of the products, right? And once it's done, then we will be resolving it the same way, right? So save it, and inside the home we have not added, I guess, the products. So if I go to the home, so maybe we can just go to the roads, and here instead of the home, we can just, in this case also we can show the categories, right? Save it, here you go. So once we are under the home, it will show the products of all categories, but once we are under any specific category, it will show the products related to only that category, right? So we have added some of the products into our cart, so let's show the cart maybe here. So we can go to our header, and for the app header we can show the menu, and then after that maybe we can show the store name. So maybe we can say typography dot title, and here we can say maybe Amir store. Save it. So it has shown somewhere here. We can add some styling to the app.css, and in the app header we can say it displays flags, and we can say justify content is space between, and we can say align items is center. Save it, here you go, it has shown the store here. We can move this to here, and we can go again to the header, and after this one we can just show the cart outlined. So it is a shopping cart outline. Okay, here you go. Maybe we can give it a class name as well. And we can say shopping cart icon. Copy this one and go to the app.css, and under this header we can say shopping cart icon, and we can give it a font size, maybe we can say 20 pixels and make it 30. Okay, looks good. And give it a margin right, maybe we can say 8 pixels. Okay, looks good. So maybe we can add a badge on that as well. So we can go to the header, and here we can add a badge, and we can say count of, maybe we can say 7. Here you go. Okay, maybe we need to add a little class name to this badge as well. Okay, maybe we can remove this class from here. Yep. And maybe let's adjust the styling a little bit, and instead of this 8, maybe we can add a 16. Looks good. And we can show different components, maybe a drawer on clicking of this icon. So maybe we can create a little component. Here we can say the app cart, and here we can return, cut it from here and paste it here, and here we can say the app cart, save it. It's still the same, right? And here we can just give it inside a div, and here we can show a drawer, and for this open we can make it open and close based on this button click or this badge click. We can say use state, and we can say cart drawer open, and by default it's false. And once we click on this badge, we can say on click is equal to a function, and we can say here set cart drawer open to true, and here we can say cart drawer open, and on close of that we can say set cart drawer open to false. Save it. Okay, if I click on this one, it has shown the drawer, and on click of this close icon, it dismisses it, right? And we can make the cursor to appear like a pointer. When we are on that, we can go to the app.css, and here we can say cursor is a pointer. Save it. Here you go. Okay, so let's go to the header, and in the app cart, so we can give it a title. We can say your cart, and under the content we can fetch the content first, and then we can show inside a table or something like that. So for the API regarding the cart is, can go to those, so maybe this one. Yep, so we can copy this one and go to the API, and we can add a function. We can say export const get cart, and here we can return this fetch. Okay, copy this one and go to the header, and at the very start we can say use effect, and Here we will be fetching the cart, we can get cart, and once it's received we can say res, and let's see how it looks like. It will be showing the products. Copy this one, and we can say here we can create another state variable. We can say use state cart items, and by default it's empty, and here we can say set cart items to the res dot products, right there. Okay, and under the drawer we can show a table, and we can say table, and we can give it columns. It will be an array of objects where we can provide the title and data index, and it will begin the title. So let's copy this one and add few more columns. Okay, so the other columns are, one is title, then price, quantity, and total. Okay, the title, then the price, then the quantity, and then the total. If I save it and show the cart, here you go, title, price, quantity, and total. Okay, and then give us a data source. We can say the cart items. Save it. Here you go, it has shown all of these items. And because this is the price, we can render a $sign for these as well. So here we can render the value as, we can say, return a simple span, and inside that we can say the value with the $sign, right? So we can copy this one from the price, we can add in the totals as well. Okay, it's showing the $sign, right? And for this quantity, if we want to change that, we can render it something different. So maybe here we can render that as the input number, so user can change that, and its default value is the value we have received here. Save it. Here you go. Also we can give it a little style so that it does not go away. So we can add a content wrapper style, and that we can give it a width maybe 600 pixels. Looks good, or maybe 500 would be enough. Okay, nice. And in the table we can remove this pagination. We can say pagination is false, and we can add a we can say the summary or the total of whatever is for this one. So for that we can give it a summary, and it will give us the data, and here we can return any span or something. So first we will be calculating the total, so it will be data dot reduce, and it will be giving us the previous value and then the current value, and by default it will be starting from the 0, and here we will be returning the previous plus current dot total, right? And we can say const total is equal to this one, and we can return a little span. We can say total, and then we can say the total, right? Save it. There you go, total is this one. and here we can decrease or increase these values as well. So we can even go to the minus. So let's fix that. So here the input number, we can say the min is equal to 0, so user cannot go to into minus. So if I now going into minus, it will not allow, and we can change to any of these values, right? And while I'm changing these values, we need to change the total accordingly, so we can do that calculations as well. So we can say on change of this number, it will be giving us the value, and here we can say that the cart items dot map over that, and for each cart, so we will be, it will be giving us the record as well. So we will be saying that if the record dot id is equal to cart dot id, and here we can say that cart dot total is equal to cart dot price multiplied by the value user has entered, right? And here we will be returning the updated cart, and we will be updating our data source as well based on our previous value. And here we can say, instead of mapping over the cart items, we can map over the previous values and update our cart accordingly. So if I save it, and now if I change these values, so it will be changing accordingly. So getting it to, so right now it's 40 cross 2 is 80, and if we make this 3 120 1 0, right? So it's updating, and also this value is also updating accordingly, right? Okay, so this was our cart. So we can add a button here. We can say check out your cart. So under the table, we can say a button that should say check out your cart, and maybe we can make its type of primary. If I save it, here you go, check out your cart, and on click of that, maybe we can get some information from the user, maybe the first name, last name, email address, and then confirm order, right? So we can do that on multiple ways. We can move the user to the different page, or we can show a model here, or maybe we can show another drawer here as well, so that user is still on this page. So we can add another drawer. So here we can say drawer, and its open is based on another state variable, so that we can say use state, and that is checkout drawer open, and by default it's false. And on click of this checkout button here, and on click of this one, we can say set checkout drawer open to true, and we can say checkout drawer open, and on close is equal to set checkout drawer open as false, right? If I save it and show this one and check out this one, it has shown, right? So we can add some content inside that. We can say form from end design, and we can add some form items again from the end design. So we can add an input maybe, and we can say placeholder is enter your full name, and here we can say label as full name, and name is also as a full name, right? And we can add a title to this dot as well. We can say confirm order, right? And we can add some more items. So we can say email, we can say your email, enter your email, right? And then we can say copy this one and address, and here we can say your address, and we can say enter your address, right? And at the end we can add a button. We can say confirm order and give it a type of primary and HTML type of submit, right? And if I save it and show the checkout, here you go, the full name, email and address, and then the confirm order. We can make these the required fields as well. So we can add a little rules. It will be an array of objects. We can say required is true, and if user has not entered a full name, we can give them a message. We can say please enter your name or full name. We can add these rules on the other items as well. So it has added a little star here, so for this one, and it's required to, and also it has a type of email. We can say please enter a valid email. In case user has not entered or user has entered a invalid email, it will show this message in both cases. And also for the address, we can say please enter your address. We have made all of these as required, right? So now if you confirm, say please enter your full name, valid email, address, and if I entered anything here, and if I entered anything here and it's not email, that is, it still says that please enter valid email, and if looks like a good email, it will vanish. And we can enter address here, and then we can go to the confirm order, and for that this function on finish will be called, and we can say on confirm order we can copy this one and create this function. You can say const on confirm order, and we will be getting the all of the values user has entered. You can say console.log those values, right? And if I go to the console and see whatever is in there, confirm order, so we have all of the values, full name, the name, and then the address, right? So here we can make another API call to our server, so where we will be providing all of this information that user has selected or entered here. And also we can show some payment information here as well. So maybe for now we can go with the, you can say, the cash on delivery option, and we can add other options like the credit card, etc., using the Stripe or something. So here we can say the form dot item, and we can say inside that we can say a checkbox, and here we can say cash on delivery, and save it. Here you go, cash on delivery, right? And maybe you can show something here, more methods are coming soon. So maybe here we can say typography dot paragraph, and we can say more methods coming soon, and we can give it a type of maybe secondary. Save it. There you go. It's saying more method coming soon, right? And by default we can make this cash on delivery as checked. Checkout by default it's checked, right? And maybe we can make this as the disabled, so that it's by default checked and user cannot make this unchecked, because we are only allowing the cash on delivery option, right? So user had to enter these values, and cash on delivery is already selected, and more method coming soon. Confirm, and on confirm we will be hiding this one, and go to back. So let's write that as well. So here on the on confirm order we will be saying set cart open as false, and you can say set checkout drawer open also as false, right? And also we can show a message of success. We can say your order has been placed successfully. Save it, and if I enter the values here, you can say Amir at gmail.com, and we can give it address Google. Here you go, your order has been placed successfully, right? So that was the cart. So we can add some content in the footer as well. So let's go ahead and go to the footer and add some content there. And here we can say under our typography and dot maybe link, and we can say privacy policy, and it's a link. We can give it a href, maybe we can say https, and it's a google.com, and give it a target of blank, so it opens in a new tab. So copy this one and add few more. We can say it's a privacy policy, it's a terms and conditions, and also we can say some return policy, and maybe we can add our phone number as well. We can say +1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and instead of this one we can give it href like tell of +1 2 3, right? The same we have shown here. And if I save it, here you go. So we can add a little styling to app footer. So for that we can go to the after css and go to the footer, and here we can say its display is flex, and justify content as space evenly. Save it, and also we can say align atom to center. Here you go, looks good. And now if I click any of these, it goes to the google.com, and if I click on this one, it says that how you want to call it, right? And also we can add some styling over here as well. So we can add a little shadow on the header. We can say under this app header, we can say the box shadow. We can say maybe 1 pixel and 4 pixel, and we can give a color of 000, and save it. There you go. So maybe change it to AA. No, 33. Looks good. Okay. And also for this content we can give a little margin from the top. We can say top is maybe 2 pixels, and now if I scroll, here you go. Now it looks good. maybe this one is too much. Let's give a 2 pixel, and also this one 2 pixel. Okay, and also we can remove this, we can say this line as well if it looks odd. So for that we can go to the header and go to the menu and give it a class, we can say app menu, and copy this one and go to the app.css and can add a app menu, and we can say border none. If I save it, here you go, so there's no border, right? And also on some of the e-commerce websites there are some sorting options as well, so sort alphabetically or sort by price, we can add that as well. So we can go to the products, and here before the list we can add a div, and inside that we can say select and give it options. So is that selected? Okay, and give that options, and we can say label of, we can say alphabetically A to Z, and value of, we can say AZ, and let's copy this one and add few more. We can say this is Z to A, and this is price low to high, and it will be ZA, and here we can say low high, and we can say high low, and we can say price high to low, right? If I save it, and here you go, it has shown the alphabetically, then the price alphabetically price, right? And we can add a little label there as well. So here we can say typography dot text, and we can say view items sorted by, you go, view items sorted by, and we can give it maybe default value of A to Z. Save it, here you go. So we can give a little padding of the container. So here we can say the class name, and here we can say products container. Copy this one and go to the app.css, and we can add a products container and give it a padding maybe 8 pixels, and products, here you go, it has added a little padding, right? And based on this selection we can do our sorting. So we can say on change, and it will be giving us the value, and we can say we can create a state variable to keep the track of the selected sorting order. So we can say use state, we can say sort order, and by default we can say A to Z, and once it's changing we can say set sort order to the value user has chosen. And also we can create a function here, we can say const get sorted items, and here we can sort our items based on the selected order. So we can say const sorted items is equal to whatever we have in the items list, and then we can say sorted items dot sort, and it will be giving us A and B. And here we can say if the sort order is equal to AZ, then return, we can say A dot title is greater than B dot title, then return 1, and otherwise check it again, and if it's equal to, then we can return 0, otherwise return -1, right? And let's copy this one and go for the other options as well. So we can say else if and else if and else if AZ, then if it is a ZA or it's a high low, or maybe we can say low high and then the high low, because we are showing the high low at the very end, right? Okay, so in this case it will be less than, and in this case it will be the price. So let's copy this one, place here, here and here, and it will be the opposite, and here as well, right? So it should be low high, high low. So this will be capital and this will be also capital. Okay, so it will be giving the sorted items, and here we can return the sorted items, right? And we can, where we are providing the data source, we can say the sorted items, return those, right? Okay, the function name is something else, get sorted items. Copy this one and here you go. Okay, so by default A to Z, and if I change to Z to A, and if I change to price low to high 10, 23 and 35, and going high, and from high to low 66, and then decreasing, right? I guess the spell was not correct. We can go there, it's high, right? And one thing you notice that if I make this alphabetically, so here you go, the H is coming after the M. So that is because we are not saying it the case insensitive. So while we are doing this one, we can say get the title in lowercase before matching it. So here we can say const a lowercase title is equal to a dot title dot to lowercase, and also we can do the same for the B. So B lowercase and B dot title lowercase, right? So wherever we are using the a dot title, we can replace this to a dot lowercase, and here as well, here as well, and same goes for the B. I have created the const before that because we are using on multiple times, so we do not create the lowercase everywhere. Okay, save it, and here you go. So now it should be fine. And if I go to ZA, and if I go to AZ, it looks good. And if I go to the price, okay, and if I go to the price high to low, it looks good. And here you see, if I selected anything here high to low and move to different category, it again changes to A to Z. We can keep that on all of the pages as well, based on the user selection. So for that, we can go to the products, and where we are showing inside the list, here we can show the loading, and we can say it's based on the loading. And instead of this loading, we can show the loading inside that. So if I save it, so now if I change to shoes, it is high to low, fragrances high to low, it's men's shirts high to low, right? And also for this value, we can show what this value mean. It's actually a discount percentage. So we can go to the products list, and where we are showing the ribbon, and here we can show that it's dollars, and it's actually the percentage off. If I save it, and here you go, it has shown it is this much of percentage off, right? And it has applied to other pages as well, because we are reusing the same component, right? And also for this cart, we are showing this 7 badge. Also it's hard coded. We can show that based on the cart items count. So for that, we can go to the header, and where we are showing the badge, the number 7. Instead of that, we can say that it's equal to the cart items dot length. And if I save it, here you go. So instead of the 7, now it's 5. So if I click on that, so we can count 1 2 3 4 5 items in that, right? So if I refresh, it's again 5, right? So we are fetching always from our server, right? So that's it on exploring or creating a sample e-commerce website. But still, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. And if you have learned something in this video, please hit like, subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video. Thank you.